If the walls start crawling, your drawers shouldn't be falling. Welcome back, beautiful people. It's Wterfiji. What with the good, your favorite spiritual teen. How are you doing today? Today we're going to be doing a story time. But this just isn't any regular old story time. This is a story time about how I had to jump out a window like I was playing Texas Chainsaw Massacre. No. But before we get into that, make sure that you all like, comment, subscribe, and share it to 3 hoes. This story takes place in 2020. Now, in 2020, I was a heavy user of this app, the Dinosaur app. Now, if you don't know it by the Dinosaur app, I'm not going to call it by its name. You'll know it by close your eyes. Pew, pew. Look at you. Y'all thought you even got kicked out the lab. This app was the terror for my battery use. Hell, she still is to this day. Around this time, I was like very present in the sense and space where I would like go on other people's panels, I would host my own panels, go live, and I would network and meet so many different people. And around this time, I have curated a very beautiful friendship with my best friend, my good girl, Capri. It wouldn't be abnormal for Capri to be doing a panel or even a solo live, and you would see my face because that's my bitch. We're gonna talk, okay? And in process of us talking, over the duration of this 2020, I had become increasingly familiar with her group of girls. And amongst this group of girls, some of them will be in my DMs trying to fuck on me. And it's like, girl, what we gonna do, Scissor? I can't do anything for you, boo. And I know you see me now, and you may think I look like this. You may even think I look like this. But baby, I look like this. And so typically I would just shy away from those DMs. But this one particular profile, it caught my eye. All I saw was this cute brown skin, like scruffy, like, trade or whatever. And I'm just like, okay, like you're cute and stuff. Like, let me go to your profile. Okay, page is private. I'm not gonna follow you. But I see where you're going there. So I just left the DM alone. Okay. Like 2 weeks had passed by. I done spent the block on, Tinder. I recognize this face now. So now I can get more into your mug and see who you are. And I'm like, okay, you're cute. So we're talking, messaging back and forth on Tinder or whatever. And like the conversation's not really going nowhere. And then he's also kind of like creeping me out because chop it up talking about Capricorn, but I don't like people knowing like too much stuff about me, And so he was like knowing just a little bit too much about me that I didn't tell you. I haven't had the chance to tell you yet, so why would you know? I paid a legend. 2 months go by. My best friend, Capri, she hosts another panel. And when she hosts another panel, I see my Instagram messages like going off. And I'm like, what does this lady want? I like click on it because this lady's like, she called me twice. I text him like, hello, what do you want? He's all like, oh, you look so good. Thank you. I mean, how do you know? I follow Capri. At this point, I'm just turned off. Because then I kind of see where this is now going. I'm kind of paying it a little bit. Okay, thank you. Yeah, I'm in here watching now. I see you in box 1 and you look good. And like, I like how you said X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh, okay. Panel ends, curtains closed. The process of me going on through about my night, Monkey King messages me again. Just like, my apologies. I didn't want to seem weird. It was just like, oh, I saw you. I just wanted to let you know like how good you looked. I didn't mean to come off weird or creepy or however you would have taken it. I'm like, you know what? Thank you, little nigga. I really appreciate that because that's a very uncomfortable thing for me. But you're like, what's going on with you? And he's like, nothing, I'm just chilling. I'm with my partners. You should come through. I really don't know about that one. I mean, there isn't anything that's getting me out of my seat here that would make me want to go towards the city to come see you. I don't really see me coming out there. And he was like, okay, cool. I mean, you just sexy. I just wanted to eat your ass a little. You wanted to do what? I mean, that's all you had to say. Like, boy, what? Of course you can. You cute. Like, I mean, you cool. You know what I'm saying? You just, you a little different. You a little different. That's all. My good girl. I don't have to make up her name. Y'all know her, Ocean. My good girl, Ocean. Ocean's about to go out, and Ocean's like, "Oh, I thought you wasn't going out. What you getting dressed for?" And I'm like, "Oh, girl, this, Trey want to eat my ass, da da da." And so he's like, "Okay, well, cool. Like, where he's at, I'll drop you off." I'm like, "Okay, period. You a real bitch for that." But then, in process of me like getting on the way there, me and Ocean were king about it. We're talking about him. We're calling him Curious George. That's why his name is Monkey King. He looked like Curious George a little bit, like a little monkey girl with like a little fro. And we're king, and I'm getting a text message, and he's calling me. He's like, "Are you here yet?" And I'm like, "No, what's up?" I'm like 7 minutes away. He's like, "Oh, nothing. Make sure that like when you pull in, like you don't pull into the driveway, because just in case if like my partners and them come back, you know, they won't see you." And I'm like, "What does that have to be? Baby, I'm in an Uber." That's why I was talking about, I'm in an Uber. I'm like, "Yeah, that don't like I'll be fine." The way how the house is set up, like the entrance and the driveway, it was kind of weird and funky. But he was like, "Come around to the front door, like don't go through the garage. Like don't walk up to the first door that you see, because that's the garage." So I'm like, "Okay, cool." So when I get there, I see two cars in the parking lot, and I see niggas sitting on the porch, and I'm like, "Oh, oh my God." The way how I got out the car, well, the side of the house I got out the car, and like when I walked up, like you could kind of see if you was on like that outer corner of the under part of the driveway. And that's like they saw me, but they didn't really like see me. So they kind of like chopped it up, because when they was about to say something to me, he poked his head out the window, because his window was right there by the other door. And he was like, "Oh no, he cool. He with me." Okay, so there's like, "Oh, all right, bet." I was gonna say that I didn't know who this was. I'm like, "Oh my God, I'm in the hood," and he has me. I could have gotten shot. Like, oh my God, it was an adrenaline rush. I kind of liked it. It was a little hot. Now, when I walk into the room, I'm kind of blinking, because bed was made, but it was messy at the same time, and I'm like, "Okay, okay, I'm gonna pay it." So I kind of scan the room a little bit, make sure that there aren't any like weapons or anything, and I sit down. But as I sit down, I hear something rattling in the closet. And I'm gagging, because what's this? So I text Ocean, I'm like, "Hey, boo, stop whatever, stop exactly where you're at. Because I don't know what's happening. I hear something rattling in his closet. I don't know what the fuck this shit is." He had his pit bull like in the closet, because the pit bull typically like be in the room, but the pit bull isn't friendly. So he put the pit bull in the closet. So it was a lot. So after the false alarm was through the door, and I knew that I was good, because it was just a fucking dog. Mind you, it was two pit bulls actually. I didn't get comfortable, because like I'm still something's not right in this energy. Something's not right in this energy, and I'm like really not feeling it. I'm sitting down or whatever, and he's like just trying to talk to me. And it's like the more he's talking to me, I'm realizing and asking myself like, why am I even here? Because it's like there's nothing that you're saying that interests me, and you're like kind of boring. Like I don't know, a lot of you boys be boring. Maybe it's because I'm such an extravagant person. I don't know. I soon see myself making my departure from this estate, up until the lights went off. Like, oh my God, what's going, like, is there a light show? Like, you about to bring out a projector or something? Like, what's this? He has Family Guy on the TV. I see like little Stewie like riding his bike, right? And Stewie had hit, I want to say Stewie had hit Brian something. Brian got knocked out. And you know how like on the TV where they'll put you into the perspective of the character. So the light, like the room is going dark and then light, because you see Brian blinking, right? And then there was something else going on, where he was at the park and there was things being thrown and flown across the room. So there's like shadows going all over the room. So I'm getting comfortable. I'm like, okay, because I'm getting comfortable because I blink and I'm getting licked on and munched on. So I'm like, oh my God. Then out of nowhere, I feel something slap on my thigh. And I looked up and I said, what the hell you doing? He was like, oh, nothing. I just was, while I was there. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So then when I looked back up again, the room went dark and then the lights came on and there were shadows. Now when there were shadows, I just saw like it looked like maybe from Family Guy, since Stewie was at the park, there was like ants or something that was like being flown around in the sky or something, but the walls looked like they was moving. And I'm like, oh, okay, period. Because I thought I saw something, but when the lights like it was bright, there wasn't anything there. So he gets to licking and munching on me again. My foot, I adjust myself and I feel myself crunch something. It's like a I look down, there's kibble under my foot. You know what? It's okay. It's cool. We can wrap this up. It's cool. You good. You good. You good. You don't have to do nothing else. So in process, I'm like, Ocean, I'm texting Ocean, you call me right now and you get your ass over here. I'm in danger. I'm telling Ocean, I said I'm in danger. Ocean is on his way. Ocean was already around the corner, around the street, across the block, across the highway. It wasn't nothing for Ocean to get there in like 8 minutes. Okay. So in process of Ocean being on his way back, Ocean's calling me and he's still trying to like lick on me and eat my mom. And I'm like, oh my God, you said what? You're locked outside the house. Oh my God. It's perfectly fine. I can come. Let me call my Uber and I can be on my way. And I'm like, hey, my roommate, he's locked out the house. And he needs for me to go let him in. Now I can't be here with you all night because he has to. Unless you want this 6'3" sissy to like be black, because he's Banji too. He's gonna come in here ghetto. He's gonna be playing Megan Thee Stallion. Are you sure you want to hear somebody playing Megan Thee Stallion in front of your door and they just saw me here? And he was like, no, it's cool. Your friend come get you. We can wait. We still got some time. We still have time for what? Listen, let me tell you something. I tapped him on his shoulder. Baby, I want you to get up off from your knees because I'm about to go. And if I don't go, it's going to get very ugly for you. I'm making my way towards the door after already making sure I have all my stuff. He's like standing in front of the door. What are you doing? No, like no, I'm sorry. He just kept apologizing. I'm sorry. I accept your apology. Move out the door. Move out the way of the door. Move from in front of the door. Please move. So I feel myself getting aggressive. In the process of me like about to start getting aggressive, my ass is vibrating because Ocean is calling me. He's like, I've been texting you and you got one more missed call before I kick down this door and or I call the police. So I'm like, hey boo, listen, I think that you might want to let me out because my friend is here. I haven't been picking up the phone. And he said he's going to call the police. So he was like, oh, I'm not worried about the police coming. I mean, you going to stay here. You know what? It's fine. It's cool. So I'm processing me trying to fight with him for me to get outside of this door and make it out of his room so I can leave. It was like a knock on the door and his homeboys are like, oh, there's a car out here. He was like, oh, it's cool. That's my friend Uber. He about to go. And so then he's all like, yeah, oh, okay. I was just gonna say, cause like, the block a little hot. And I'm like, oh my God, the block's hot. I'm not in this block. I'm not on this block. I'm not of this block. So let me get the fuck out. He closes the door again. He's still not trying to let me go. He's still trying to munch on me. He's still trying to fuck on me. He's still trying to keep me captive. You're kidnapping me at this point. And what did I do? My survival instincts kicked in. I pushed him into that closet. The door, I mean, not the door, the window was already cracked. I don't know who's all inside the living room at this point. Only thing I know is there's a window here that leads directly right here to this front lawn. And I know Ocean is parked right there. I actually can see Ocean's car right there as we speak. But as I look out the window, I see Ocean looking down at his phone because Ocean's texting me. He's been calling my phone and Ocean's like, listen, I'm gonna call you one more time, and you tell that nigga that if he don't let you pick up this phone, I'm gonna call the police. So I'm like, yeah, before the police gets here, bitch, and anything gets any worse than what it is, because apparently the block's hot. Let me go. So I make a jump out of it. I jump out the window like a bird. And I start making a run for it. Mind you. I left my AirPod. So my dumb ass, bitch, I went back. Hello, bitch, you can't leave your AirPods. Bitch, I left my AirPods, but thankfully I left them on top of the dresser, but the dresser was in front of the window. So it was like the bed, and I don't know, that's bad feng shui. You don't never put objects in front of your windows, but it was like the bed and the headboard, like half of the headboard covered the window, and then it was like the other half of the window that was where the dresser was, and he had took the mirror off. So bitch, I saw my AirPods, bitch. I reached my hand through that goddamn window, and when I reached my hand through the window, bitch, he was coming back out the goddamn closet. So I'm just like, oh my god, bitch, I gotta go. So he's trying to close the window on my hand, and bitch, I snatch my AirPods and I make a run for it. I get back inside the car, and Ocean's like, bitch, I just see you jump out the window? I did. I jumped out the window. Bitch, I jumped out like Leland. After that, he kept calling my phone and apologizing, calling my phone and apologizing. And I'm just like, I don't want to hear any of this. And I blocked him on everything. Ever since then, I think I'm just going to dodge every bullet, literally. Literally. And I'm just going to, be like a common Samaritan. And I'm going to find a nice, good, strong, healthy, handsome, chocolate black man at my local Publix produce section. That's where I like to be at because I like fruit and stuff. And so, if you are a nice, handsome, chocolate, sexy black man, go to Publix. Might be able to catch you in the produce aisle. That about wraps up this video. It's a very short video, but it was just a cute, quick, like little kiki video. And yeah, if you enjoyed this, make sure again you like, comment, share, subscribe. Click the bell, share to 3 friends. I'm a simple hoe. You were all powerful, beautiful, and abundant people. And if the walls start crawling, your draw shouldn't be falling. Ashe!
My head make me gag, ho. Take it. On my head when I shake. Take it. Ass fat, it ain't break.